Did not have an outro written. Sort of winged that, the bit about Penelope, but I think it came out okay.
We don't need to work on anything. So.
Oh yeah, I didn't actually say coming up. Coming up. There we go.
Put that in.
I can just put that in there. Don't worry about it. Doom, the yellow and brown game. Well, it's not that bad. It's not as yellow-brown as it looked initially. It actually has that level. I mean, you're in a foundry. It's sort of what it's going to look like. Microphone switch.
Hey!
Fixing in post confirmed. Exactly.
Yep. I like, some people were saying that the, just the flub with the division thing, switching to the wrong, and then bringing it was actually just meta commentary on bugs in division. Which is totally true.
Did you switch to number 6?
No, I switched to 3 instead of 5.
Oh, yeah.
I switched back to the previous one.
Right. We're doing it over again, I guess. So.
Hey, everybody.
Hey, everybody. Let's talk about the news. So, yeah, The Guardian, which is a media company, they said the trailer is like, get ready for groundbreaking journalism. And it's like, what?
I guess it helps illustrate what they're talking about.
I guess. I think there's interviews.
I'm assuming they did another
with it?
Or it's like a companion to a piece that they did or something.
Yeah. It's
But yeah, it's pretty heavy.
Yeah.
The whole solitary confinement thing, super lame.
Yeah. The the comments on that article, by the way, that we were referencing, were like, well, I don't see why we have to sympathize with these people. I mean, if they're in solitary confinement, they deserve to be there, so what's the problem? And it's like, it's not about sympathizing with them. It's about understanding what solitary confinement is like. But then, as you saw from the trailer, it goes like Silent Hill at points, and I don't get it.
Yeah,
I guess because they're like, you're only going to be in here for a few minutes, so we got to really, we got to ramp the psychological trauma up.
Yeah. Although I'm not sure whether that was a good idea. But just having it be nothing, in some ways, I feel like would be more impactful. Also, yeah, I remember there have been a couple of fairly high-profile cases of.
Wasn't it recently determined that solitary confinement should be regarded as actual torture? Probably.
Yeah, there's been some high-profile cases of people who were later, who have been exonerated, who were in solitary confinement for very, very long time, and it really does mess you up in ways that are not fully understood, because it's not something that you can do to somebody without them also being a criminal.
Yeah,
because it turns out it sucks.
The Nintendo announcements, like we said, just sort of weird. They're just like, yeah, we're doing a new console. It's coming out in less than a year, and you don't get to see it at E3, and we'll tell you more about it later. Bye.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and also
Zelda, but that's all we're showing at E3, and everyone's like, that's it? And they're like, yep.
It's like, you guys.
All the game journalists I follow on Twitter were like, man, my schedule just opened up.
This better be a damn good Zelda game, is all I gotta say.
Yeah.
Like, if it's like, we have a new Zelda game, and it's gonna be amazing, or it's like, that's the only thing we're gonna be showing, and it's like, another remake of A Link to the Past, people are gonna be a little annoyed.
Oh no, 1 second.
What?
Sorry, Kara says in the chat, was like, I assume they're running late today? Like, uh-oh.
It's like, I like Zelda games. I mean, I'm a fan of Zelda games. But that's putting all your E3 eggs in one place. So, I mean, I guess they're not doing like a big press conference and stuff.
I guess not.
Because it'll be like a 5-minute press conference. Here's Zelda. It looks really cool. Bye.
Yep. The Ocean New Sub, I bet you and Beej could find common ground in that, because he's a huge Nintendo fan, will buy their stuff, loves their stuff, but they still do things all the time that make Beej go, "Fuck, guys, come on." So
Nintendo is interesting because they are so successful and they do make great stuff, but they do seem to have these weird like blind spots that at a certain point you just have to be like, well, that's Nintendo. That's just how they do things.
That's how it goes.
They do things a little differently. And maybe that's not so bad. Like maybe having, one of the three big console companies going in kind of a weird other direction is a good idea.
Yeah, I mean, like I said in the story, like more and more you get the impression that Nintendo's like, you two can fight, and we'll just be, and also Nintendo. We'll just be over here, and people can buy a PlayStation or an Xbox,
and then
also a Nintendo, and we'll just do our own thing. Hello. Also, yeah, they sell their consoles at a profit, which the other two do not, and they've said the NX will be sold at a profit,
which is apparently selling the console
loss leader.
Selling the console at a profit is apparently a fairly innovative idea.
Yeah, it's crazy. Right, Call of Duty. Why didn't we make that joke?
Because we probably have before.
Probably. Anyway,
fragged.
Someone tweeted like a year and a half ago, if they remake Modern Warfare for PS4, I will poop my pants. And then 6 months ago, right? How long ago did Call of Duty respond? 6 weeks ago?
Yeah, I thought it was quite recently.
A little while ago, the official Call of Duty account responded to that tweet, like over a year later, just responded to that tweet with the poop emoji and the pants emoji, and that's it. That's all they said.
And that was the official announcement of the new Call of Duty for a couple of days, for like a while, before they actually released the trailer that demonstrated, which is a beautiful. Andrew, I'm
sorry. I'm sorry that we were on time. I am sorry that you missed it.
I feel like they.
I'll get the replay up real quick.
I feel like that's one of those things that like some marketing people in the company were like, please let us do this, and like the CEO or whatever or like the head was just like, this is weird. I think we should do it normally. And they're like, no, trust me, this will be amazing. Please let us do this.
Yeah. And I am glad that they did.
Yes.
And then, The Division. Oof. So, like, there's a couple different aspects to this. One is the punishing people for exploiting a glitch in the game, right? And it's like, you can't be sure that everyone who does it knows that you've said that you're going to ban people. That's the thing. Like, you have to assume ignorance on the part of this, right? Not everyone who plays it is going to read your blog, and they could be just grouping up with someone who's like, oh, we do it this way, and they go, oh, okay, cool, and then you ban them for that? Like,
hey, this is a cool thing.
You can't ban someone for exploiting a mistake that you made. Which is like...
I mean, you've had all sorts of fun futzing around with Destiny.
Oh man, I've got so outside the map in that thing.
Yeah.
Luckily, there's like no real advantage to that. It's just ridiculous.
But so the idea, like they've said they're gonna like release, like they're gonna announce or like have a big list of all the glitches as people find them, so that people know what they are. But it's just like, guys, maybe you should just fix them.
Yes, so that's a good point. Ingsleben, I'm sorry. Today's Jimquisition, which you should probably check out, is about Dark Souls 3, where a similar problem is happening, where people are doing, again, like client-side messing around with weapons and items, and it's like, if Bandai Namco has said, if you have one of those items, then you'll get punished for it. And so what these people are doing...
It's like, which is fair.
They're going into PvP and dropping the items, and then other people come up and go, oh, cool, he gave me a sword, and they take the sword, and then their account gets banned.
Right.
And Bandai Namco has said, well, that's what you get for taking candy from strangers. And it's like, holy shit, guys.
So you're saying that trading should not happen in the game?
Exactly.
Why did you put that in?
It's a feature of the game.
Yeah, that one's pretty yeah.
Oh.
So, you think they could, be able to see whether the item is something that the person had or whether it's something that they picked up or what? It's and then there's the other thing with the Division, which was a thing that was put out a few days ago, and as far as I know, Ubisoft hasn't had like a official response to it to deny the stuff that this guy's talking about.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a guy who did a bunch of work, has worked on netcode for sort of AAA titles.
Yeah.
And I forget what exactly the titles are. And he's saying he hasn't actually seen the netcode for the Division, but he's watched a bunch of YouTube videos of people showing what they can do on it, including doing stuff like going into like a hex editor and
there's
editing
someone there playing the game with a hex editor going, and they're like, so when I move, these values change, so that's my X and Y. When I, and like he's working out, all the hex values are changing, and so it's like, oh, okay, so that's recoil, that's muzzle drop, that's that's view bob, and just sort of figuring it out, and then going, okay, so being that, like, if be that the case, I can then do this, and then you can just like. There's a GIF going around Reddit right now of the community manager for the Division on a live stream getting killed by a hacker. It's super embarrassing.
And it's like all that stuff is totally normal. Like hex editing and all that stuff is totally normal in like a single player thing. But once the idea that those would actually work in a multiplayer environment is super bad. Typically. The article is actually quite interesting because it goes into he talks about how it's actually done on normal, like basically the system was first basically came from I think Quake was the first game to do it, and Counter-Strike was the one that kind of solidified it as how you do it.
Yeah,
where it's basically the game, how it's supposed to work is the game is actually running on the server.
Yeah,
and all you're sending to the server is like what keyboard commands and your mouse and all that kind of stuff. And then the server is like, okay, then you load this gun.
Yeah.
So you can make yourself look like you have a fancy gun to yourself if you want, but the server doesn't care.
Yeah.
Or you can teleport to another place on the map if you want, but the server will be like, okay, you're still there. You're still where you were because you never told me how you got there. But unfortunately, the problem is that to switch from one thing to the other, to switch from client side to server side, is not a trivial thing to do.
No.
And it seemed from the guy's perspective, he said like from everything that I know, it would require an entire rewrite of like the net code, especially, and then a large portion of how the actual like game is structured.
The someone was saying in Dark Souls 3, people have also figured out how to add a poison to their weapons that like actually gets script to run on the other player's game and like adds items to their inventory to get them. It's like in GTA Online where you get people Take-Two implemented a thing where it's like if you gain too much money too quickly, it'll just trip like a bot and you'll instantly get banned. And so you had people who had like millions of dollars and they would run up to you and throw bags of money at you so that you would go like banned.
Right.
And it's like, which is amusing in how clever it is, but on the other hand, it's like,
it's the problem is any
you have to assume people are going to be dicks.
And it's like, well, it's the thing is, it's not you have to assume people will be dicks. The problem you're running into is the people you're targeting with this are the people who you already know are dicks.
Yeah.
Right? Like, it's not like there's the entire, composition of people who play your game. of which there's a tiny percentage that are dicks. But the people who you're targeting with the things to stop people from hacking is like, you're targeting 90% dicks. And you never should target 90% dicks.
Wow, that's a huge GIF.
It's like a video.
It's a 60 meg GIF.
Holy crap.
Yeah.
L2 used video.
But yeah, if you look at the guy in the background, who should not be able to move.
Whoop.
Wait for it.
Zoom! Whoa! Look at that.
Yeah. That's not how that works. That's not how it's supposed to work anyway. What other stories do we have? Oh yeah, Space Pope.
Oh yeah, so this is cool. This is actually, I guess, more of a sort of slice of life thing than an actual like news story. But Kotaku, I think it's actually Kotaku UK, has this really neat thing where he's interview with this guy who is the Eve Space Pope.
Space Pope.
Who's and the story of this guy is actually pretty amazing. He's a guy who is he's a retired he's actually a retired like NASA engineer, and he heard about Eve and thought it would sound interesting and started playing it. And because he was, he's sort of an older guy, older than most of the people who are playing it. He ended up, between, because there's a lot of downtime in Eve because you're mining something or you're waiting for people to do stuff or whatever, right? And so people use the chat a lot. And because he's was sort of an older guy and more kind of relaxed or whatever, he started, he would be chatting with people and, sometimes would be young kids and things who are having problems and stuff. And he would, give advice and be nice to people, right? And eventually he started being like known as the guy, a guy who had really good advice and someone to come and talk to. And so he became known as like the Space Pope. And everybody really liked him. And it got sort of to be, as these things do, as sort of memes do, it got to be a bigger and bigger and bigger thing.
Right.
And then one of the recent big Eve conventions, he actually showed up at the convention in like full Pope regalia. And then what really tipped it over the thing is, and I think we mentioned this, but the Mittani, who is basically one of the most famous players of Eve. He's the guy who's the head of Goon Swarm.
Right.
Or also known as Mittens. He went up to him. He sweared fealty. Went on bended knee and kissed his ring. And so that was like, holy crap! This guy is like the hugest troll in Eve and then the Goon Swarm has renamed itself the Imperium or whatever.
Right. All praise. All claim fealty to the Space Pope.
Yeah. The really cool part of it though is so. Going into Eve's story. I love Eve detail stuff.
Yeah.
So Eve does have a story that's like not player generated. Like it's got lore that CCP has been working on.
Yeah.
And especially it's mostly geared towards like new players to kind of get them worked into the world and to show them how it goes. Mm-hmm. And part of it is that there's like the Empress of like the biggest. There's like I think there's 4 races in the game.
Yeah. And
so there's like the Empress, who's like the Empress of the one of the biggest races. And in the lore, she started talking about how she was like God, or she was like she spoke for God, like as the because she's the Empress. And so this guy was like, at this point, I was already the Space Pope. And if she's saying that, I gotta say No, right? I gotta say, and so he basically declared like a
holy war.
a holy war against this like NPC character, which involved. So then like they had this like ridiculously huge raid happened into the area that like is not supposed to be for like PvP stuff. They're like so a big like players versus the NPCs raid came in, and it was such a big thing that CCP, which had like a whole storyline planned,
Right.
was like, all right, the Emperor's is dead now.
Congrats.
And now we're going to have a big tournament for who's going to be the new emperor or empress.
Wow.
So I like that CCP kind of rolled with it.
That's amazing.
So yeah.
It's like what they wanted to do with what was it called? It was an MMO and a TV series.
Oh, Defiant.
Defiance.
Defiance.
Yeah, Defiance.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were like, stuff that happens in the game will affect what happens in the show, and it's like, I don't believe you, and it didn't. So yeah,
No.
But I think part of that was that Defiance didn't like the series lasted longer than the game did,
Yeah. And it's also,
which is
it just,
sad.
when you think of, like, it was one of those things where it was like, wow, that's a really cool idea. And then it's like, wait a minute. The production schedule on a TV series is like,
Yeah.
especially one with like a ton of special effects and, you know, sets and makeup, like, and location shoots and makeup and all that kind of stuff. Like, the production schedule is such that it's got to be done like months before things. So the interaction couldn't actually be that good.
Yeah.
It's just a fundamental thing. Anyway, this is why there's there's like they have the people guy who's just writing stories about Eve now.
I did not know the game was still active. Yeah. That's and in fact, he's got a book. He's a friend of a friend, actually. He has a book on like the great wars of Eve. It's super cool. He basically is like a war correspondent in the Eve universe, and he did a Kickstarter for a book. It's pretty sweet.
All right.
Speaking of Quantum Break,
Yes.
Foxmar, good segue. They've patched the PC version.
Mm-hmm.
It was a 27 gig patch, but now you can do things like exit the game.
Yay! Yeah, before you had to like Alt F4 to get out of the game. You had to actually like force it. So yeah, 27 gigabyte patch. That's just the whole game. They're just like, here's a new game.
Where's the fixed frame timing not matching refresh rate?
Just something we were talking about before.
We talked about that, yeah. They fixed their logo. There's something wrong with their logo. I'm just reading the patch notes.
Yeah, I like fixed aspect ratio and full screen scaling for non-16:9 resolutions. Fixed various keyboard input issues. Like, I feel like there's a lot of stuff here that should not. Fixed options menu items being clippable even if they're cropped.
Fixes for making Xbox Live integration more fault tolerant. More fault tolerant.
And the most important, of course, Remedy logo fix.
Yeah.
That was, 26 of the 27 gigabytes right there.
That's not our logo.
Yeah.
Who made this game?
That's not the logo at all.
Yeah. Quantum Broken. Very nice.
Mm.
Also, so this game, I haven't actually played it. I want to, but apparently, you play a level and then there's like an episode of a TV show.
Yeah.
Like after each level. I don't know. I don't know.
And the great part is apparently the acting in the TV show is much worse than in the game. Like, apparently the game is like really good and a lot of fun, and then there's this weird like badly done like kind of stilted TV episode things.
I wonder if it's intentional.
They're like,
because like it was the same in Alan Wake. The live action stuff was like really unnatural and awkward and stilted, but it kind of worked because it was like a Twin Peaksy sort of vibe. But not that Twin Peaks had bad acting, but that Alan Wake had that same sort of like, just, it was like unsettling,
right,
in how the live action stuff was done.
I'm pretty sure
but
that's not the case.
This just looks sort of like it's not
Yeah.
It's not good. So, yeah.
Don't drink the bleach liquid. I don't know when I said that, but that's good advice.
Solid advice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
Anyway, that was basically it. Let's welcome some subs. Subs. Nope.
haha.
Hey, look at that. Reneko with a 13-month resub. Welcome back, Reneko. Thank you so much for 13 months of support. TXC2 with a 14-month resub. Thank you, TXC2. Growlman.
Wait.
What? Oh, yeah, wait. The thing.
Wait. Ta-da! Ta-da! Oh, wait, no, not that.
What?
Hey.
There we go. Growlman with a 24-month resub. 2 years from Growlman. Thank you very much. Inkslayer. A new subscriber from Inkslayer. Thank you very much. Welcome to the channel.
I like that. It's
Hello.
not slaying like the stuff that you draw, but he slays incorporated things.
INC, yeah. LBX Annie, a new subscriber as well. Welcome to the channel. Thank you so much. Wow, so many new subs today. This is amazing. Alan Byrne with a 31-month resub. Alan Byrne, thank you so much for 31 months of support. Crash ZXS. Crash 23-month resub. Welcome back. Crash, thank you so much. Seth Locke, 27-month resub. Thank you for 27 months of support. Beta Z, the entire planet of Beta Z, 9-month resub. Thank you very much.
Stop reading our minds.
This
That's my time.
Hail the RNG with a 15-month resub. Welcome back, Hail the RNG.
Inkslayer says you actually pronounced it right and got the meaning.
Hey!
The Slayer of
That
Inks.
never happens. Nerds Home with a 21-month resub. Welcome back, Nerds Home. Thank you so much. Greg Smash, a new subscriber. Welcome to the channel, Greg Smash. Thank you so much. Ignis 11. That's a new subscriber. I messed this up earlier. I don't know how to print. I assume there's some vowels missing, but there's an I there. I think it starts with an I. Please, how pronounce? But welcome to the channel. Thank you so much. Join us in our inability to pronounce all these weirdly spelled names. Blue Mechanic with a 23-month resub. Blue Mechanic, thank you for 23 months of support. Slow-Mo J-Fish, a new subscriber. Slow-Mo J-Fish, thank you so much for subbing to the channel. Welcome. What's happening? What are you talking about Chopin for some reason? Did I mess something up? Oh, Logan Sullivan. Okay. Logan, thank you so much.
Oh,
Very
Logan
much appreciate
Sullivan.
it. All right. Greg Smash was a previous sub, but let it lapse for a few days.
Logan Sullivan, who
Well,
has,
welcome back anyway.
has been terribly disemboweled.
Wow. That's amazing. Underscore with a 15-month resub. Welcome back, Underscore. Thank you so much. C. Dudson with a 25-month resub. C. Dudson. Much appreciated. What? Why? Oh, from the Resurrection of Music, the Chopin thing. Right, okay. Oops, off I go to Mongolia. I was like, why is he in the quotes? Who is Chopin? What's going on here? I don't understand it. Oh, geez. Oh, geez, that's awful, Mystic. I'm so sorry.
It's very,
Oh, geez. I don't know really what to say, but
that really sucks. But thank you very much for your kind words.
yeah, thank you, appreciate it. Much love from us in the chat. I can't speak for the chat, but
For us,
they're already saying it.
us who aren't in the chat, and those who are in the chat.
I gotta ramp this back up for 2 more subs. I'm sorry, 1 second. Voice Daughter! With a 19-month resub. Voice Daughter, thank you so much for 19 months of support. And Lord Zorano with a 13-month resub. Thank you so much, Lord Zorano. Much appreciated. And thank you also, Chronopticon. I am happy to hear that your spine is healing well. Whew. Ha.
Spines are useful things.
Spines are important. This is important. Spines. Right. Now what? That's it. That's it for Checkpoint, actually, isn't it?
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's great. I can go and get it online. This guy will be back at 3
Yeah.
today playing
Tron 2.0.
Tron 2.0.
Or Tron, I don't know, we're probably at like 2.0.3 or 4 or 5 now.
Oh, hey, you finished at the time you usually start. You shut up. Rainbow Puking Panda with a 13-month resub. Rainbow Puking Panda, that's something I would like to see.
Is the panda rainbow or
the puke?
The puke rainbow?
I think it would be a puking rainbow panda if the panda was the rainbow part. It seems like a panda is puking.
So the panda ate. It should have just stuck with the bamboo and so forth.
Yeah.
It tried to expand its palate, and it did not work very well.
Keeb42, no, we won't do a Sidewalk Slam bonus on the Montreal Screwjob, but there's an episode of Radiolab on the Montreal Screwjob that you should definitely listen to because it's very good. And we will be recording Sidewalk Slam this week for the Raws Since Mania and Payback, but I gotta watch Payback first.
So raw. So much raws.
What do you talk? My hair does not look like a yarmulke. It is hair. It's very short at the sides. This is my Pax haircut. Anyway. Yes, LT Digest from March is... Okay, this is the other thing I'm going to go do right now. The loading time digest for March is done. But a big chunk of it is an episode of Commodore Hustle that we shot in March that hasn't come out yet. So I'm going to go finish that and put that online. And then we can put the loading time out. And apologies that it's taken so long. But now we have 2 people working at the LT for April, so it should be quicker.
So sorry, sorry, LT isn't out.
Yeah, sorry about that.
But in response, but I hopefully this Commodore Hustle will make up for it.
Started recording. I wasn't able to get a whole episode done, but I did start recording a new Agatha Christie yesterday, so hopefully we'll get back to that. Is it also feature length? No, it's under an hour, the LT, but the April LT, I recorded a ton of stuff at PAX, so that'll be fun.
Oh yeah. Alrighty. Well,
yeah, lots more stream replays. There was actually real quick. So there was a thing. We made some changes to stuff here. You made some changes to some tech things, and the stream replays from March 30th.
Well, it wasn't actually even that I made some changes to tech stuff. It was just that the hard drive filled up.
Oh, okay.
The hard drive filled up, and so Ian, who was streaming at the time,
Right.
he got kicked offline, and then it was like, okay, well, I'll just continue. I'll just turn off archiving and go back.
Oh, okay.
So I can go back right away.
Clean up the hard drive space.
Cleaned up the hard drive, but didn't turn the archiving back on, or turned it back on, but then because of the way XSplit propagates things, it maybe decided to turn itself off. I don't know what the answer is. The thing is, stuff wasn't archived from a large portion of April.
Yeah, so we got to manually chop ad breaks out of a lot of stuff, but we have people to do that now, so we're going to go do that. And
actually, it's a thing, something to ask people. What is your option? What is your opinion on? Because we can throw this stuff up on the YouTube.
Yeah.
Cutting off the beginning and the end. Cutting off the coming online and going offline screens.
Yeah.
But leaving all the commercials in.
So I don't like doing that.
Yeah.
Because I think that's putting out a less good product. Because if we're putting it out on YouTube, then it's designed to be watched as a replay.
Yeah.
And then you often have 7-10 minute bits just in the middle where nothing happens.
Yeah. Which is not good.
Yeah.
Clearly it's better to take out the commercials.
Yeah. But with the YouTube editor, I think this will be, with the stuff that we lost, I think the YouTube editor will be fine.
I don't know if you could take out middle bits.
Yeah, you can.
Better.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, then we will attempt to do it that way.
Yes.
So anyway, nothing has been lost.
Yeah.
Is
don't
the
worry.
important thing.
Yeah.
Nothing has been lost.
It'll just take a little time.
Because we do have it all. It's all archived on Twitch, and we've pulled it down from Twitch before it was deleted or whatever. So nothing has been lost, but there just was a bit of a delay.
So, yeah. All right, that's it for Checkpoint today. Thank you all for watching, and come back in a little over an hour, and Paul's going to be playing Tron 2.0.
Yay!
So don't go away except for the next hour and 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Just come back.
Yeah.
Go away, but come back.
Go away, but come back.
Or don't go away.
Or don't go away, but please come back. Otherwise, it'll just be me here playing with Tron 2.0 by myself. Actually, that doesn't sound that bad.
Doesn't
so
sound that bad.
Whatever.
Yeah. All right. Bye, everybody. Oh, and I'll ask Sarah about the PAX panel. I saw some people asking about that. PAX panel's being edited as well. So, all right. Bye.